Not the Chuddle.
Chuddle. Surprise.
Whoa.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So good. If What the Actual Fuck was a movie, out of the mist and into the fog, it's Chuddle the Pod.
Sup, Chuddle Club members. Welcome to a very special episode of Chuddle the Pod.
Special.
Where we are going to... Special. Tonight we're going to chuddle the retrospective. We're looking back on Friday the 13th franchise. If you're listening to this and none of the other ones, I had never seen a Friday the 13th movie, and I wanted to. And somehow that ended up me using all my picks on the franchise, 1 through 10. And now we're going to take a special look back and discuss what we've seen, have a good time, have a few laughs, hopefully.
Talk about the laughs, the tears.
Just the laughs.
You know, all the memories along the way.
The hawks.
The hawks along the way.
Yeah. All the blubbery girls we've met. That's a reference to one of the episodes.
Nope, that's just Sam. Sam refers to everyone. If this is your first episode, congrats.
No. That is
Congratulations.
The banana hitchhiking girl. Anyway, I don't even remember which one that is. 3,
4.
5, 4. There you go.
Yeah, it's
right in the middle. All right, so my first part of this retrospective that I put this together, we're just going through my list. This one kind of refers back to a question we always ask, but you can only have one soundtrack out of all the soundtracks in these 10 films. Okay. Which one are you going to pick?
Okay. I want to answer this tough. Before. Is this an official meeting? Should we begin anything? Or are we like...
Oh, that's a great question. Sure. Are we all here?
Yeah, I think
my name's Sam. I'm here. Brian.
Huh?
Yeah. Ross?
Oh, hey.
All right, cool. We're here. Let's crack open the goo book.
Give me that goo. Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't want to miss using that.
Yes, that's very true.
Special episode. I'm off my game. Absolutely. I'm glad we did that.
Okay, so we can only have one soundtrack.
One soundtrack?
From any of the films. I know
very
mine.
difficult.
Yeah, please walk me through it. What do you have any top, like anything you're debating between?
I mean, there is an entire Alice Cooper directed soundtrack and theme song, which I could lean towards, which I think is 7? 6. Honestly, if I was going to get one on soundtrack, it would be part 3.
Same.
I think it's zany enough that it's interesting, but not bonkers enough that it's like idiotic. Does that make sense?
I love the updated 80s theme that plays in the movie. And then the rest of it is more sort of traditional Friday the 13th music. Part of the reason why I know that's the one I'd get is it's the only one I've listened to. After we did that movie, I was like working on property, listening to the Friday the 13th Part 3 soundtrack.
Nice.
That's awesome.
I'll probably have to agree with you guys and make it boring. I mean, I can mix it up and take one of the other ones that has a mix of stuff, like Jason Takes Manhattan, as long as it has our rap song and like kind of like good stuff of it. I would take it. Jason Lives is fun because it's different as well. We've mentioned it on all the other past ones. We kind of got into this redundancy where it was kind of like, yeah, would we own this one? Maybe, but if we own another one, it's kind of like we're hearing the same thing. So it's like, which version do you want to hear of it? So I think if I'm going for like that kind of classic Friday the 13th feel, I'll agree with you guys and take part 3. But if I want to go for the left field ones, I'm going to take Jason Takes Manhattan.
That's a good one. I mean, that also actually has songs versus just a musical score. You know what I mean? Like, I think it wasn't until 6 with the Cooper track that they actually started doing actual songs versus scores.
5 has a fun song in it that I'm blanking on, but we get the girl dancing in the
Poppin' Lockin'
Robo. Exactly.
Yes, that's true.
And that's a real song on that one.
That's true.
All right, cool. And actually for that, my left field one would be 5. I guess Ross's would probably be 6, the Alice Cooper one.
Yeah, it would be 6.
Those are our runner-ups. but all of us agree 3. That's a certified Chuddle right there. That's a certified Chuddle soundtrack. It's our first one.
Interesting.
I mean, might as well be, right?
You know what's funny? It's I don't own it. I think actually after this is done,
I almost ordered it.
I don't know. Maybe there's one other than
Waxworks or whatever puts out all the horror soundtracks. They have it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. This one I think is much harder. You can only get one toy of anything that could be a toy from all of these movies. Which one are you going with? I'll let you guys think, because I'm a little Roy boy. I want Roy, and you can take off the mask, and it's like at the end with the reveal where you see that it's Roy under like some latex or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shit.
Okay.
And also because people would be like, is that fucking Roy? Like anybody who likes Friday the 13th? If that was
mine.
The one
Okay.
toy.
I love it. Of course. I love the idea that what Sam got out of this is that he's a Roy boy.
Roy.
There's gonna be a lot of Roy in part 5 tonight, let me tell you.
And all his Friday the 13th merch is gonna be Roy related. That tickles my heart. Now here's the thing. I'm gonna cheat it. I'm gonna cheat. And my merch is a diorama piece of part 8. It's when they're all in the lifeboat. So it's the cast in the lifeboat, and then it hangs down with a rope underneath to be like looped around Jason's leg, and it's pulling him in the water.
Cool.
It's amazing.
I love it.
Oh man.
So you get Julius, you get Chuck, the dog's in there as well, all those people hanging out. Yeah. It comes with New York City dock as well, so you get the hockey mask billboard.
Oh, nice. Yes. Oh,
And
that's
you know
fantastic.
what? The rest of New York City is attached to that.
And you get the alleyways and the sewer part and the Times Square set
all the
piece.
steam.
Well, see, these are all
With
separate
real
pieces
nuclear waste.
that you buy separately, but I'm taking them together.
It's like
as
a Build-A-Figure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, mine's like a 50-50 split. I'd either do Jason from part 4 because he's, I don't know, it's Savini makeup. It's just that grody, crazy face underneath that mask. And he's also just got the battle wounds of like the,
Oh, absolutely.
slacks in the head and stuff like that. The blackened nails. Like it's just, he looks great. Or because I do already own like 2 action figures of this, part 6. I like part 7. Don't get me wrong. Like part 7's probably my favorite looking Jason, but just as as an actual like underneath the mask. And I don't know, there's something about the part 6 Jason behind the man behind the mask. That one would be just amazing. I don't know. Amazing. Yeah. I have a little statue of one of the paintballer's arms ripped off with Jason above his own grave from part 6. Bruh.
I didn't have this on the thing I sent you guys. I apologized.
That's okay.
But it ties with what we normally do.
It's Nick Cannon, this shit.
One t-shirt. You can have a t-shirt
from one movie.
It can be one movie, or it can be like some sort of representation of the franchise, or just one poster, whatever you want it to be. I would want mine to be something that represents each different Jason. I'm not sure what that would be. I don't want just a plain like 10 different masks or 11 different masks, I guess it'd be on a shirt, but something where you get like a version of each.
Honestly, okay, this is going to sound crazy. The box art from the Blu-ray collection that has all the Jasons in the giant montage.
I have that
on a t-shirt would be fucking outstanding. Although I feel it's a cheat to the question. But
I don't think so at all.
I have my answer.
I'm not asking you for one.
I got
movie.
two. I got two hawk designed ones. So one of them, I was thinking maybe you take something like, it's just like the hawk, but it's almost a patchwork kind of put together of all the different hawks.
Oh, yeah.
So it looks like portions of all the different ones, and maybe it's like cracked where it looks like a different thing.
It's like all Leatherface together.
Something like that. And then the other one is to be like kind of like, those best way to describe it is like it's like either like those Howling at the Wolf Moon shirts or something like that, where it's like a bunch of different like vignette, like bunch of different things. It's a few different Jasons. One wistfully looking off, another one just kind of looking directly at you, a little faded.
Lurching forward.
Of a different.
I would buy that today.
There we go. That one, I think we can design that. We'll make that happen. That's the shirt.
Nice.
And then get sued.
I like that. I like that a lot. I actually got this shirt through, I think it was T-Villain back in the day, that does like 24-hour sales. And I would love to own this shirt again. It's a hawk. That's the whole front of the shirt, but it's got the Ziggy Stardust David Bowie makeup on the front of it. Mm-hmm. Just because the deep cut that every movie was dubbed after a David Bowie song. So like that would just be, I don't know. If you knew, it'd be
that makes
a double level of,
absolutely.
But I used to have it forever ago. And since then obviously got lost between movies. Like that to me will probably be my definitive.
Sure. Yeah. I'd like a hockey mask that looks like Ziggy Stardust.
Right? Babe, I'm going to start a hawk collection.
Actually, I want...
I do. I hate to say it. I do.
Oh, I
have
know.
3.
Oh, you lucky.
Yeah.
Lucky little hawk boy.
All right, I thought this would be a fun one. Fuck, marry, kill different Jasons. So we got 10 to choose from. Because the first one, I guess you could do Kid Jason if you wanted to. Well, I figured one of those 3 things to him.
I figured for the first one, that's weird. I'd say call it Pamela. I think we should be including Pamela in some of these.
Okay.
As our villain type of thing. So
sure, she's the killer in part 1. So yeah.
So you know who you're gonna fuck?
I know who I'm gonna marry.
Oh
yeah.
Oh, you marry Pamela. If she's an option. If we're taking her out of it, I know it's a little bit different, but I think that's who you marry.
Do you know how dedicated to her family she is?
Exactly.
That's a woman you want to marry.
Seems a little
Jason's
cuckoo.
Hey, I work well with cuckoo. It's my thing.
Your wife out just slaughtering.
I can't confirm or deny that.
Or deny that. All right. So I'm going to fuck. Who am I gonna fuck? I'm gonna fuck part 6. Is that
corpse?
I know. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta go corpse. I know who mine is.
Because that's one of my favorite looking ones. So might as well fuck it, right?
Sure.
And then marry. Who do you think I'm gonna marry? I'm gonna marry my boy Roy. Because he never gets any love.
Because he's a human being.
He's just heartbroken that his son was murdered.
Sure. You want to fix that.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I will try to fix him. And then I'm going to kill Jason Goes to Hell, Jason. Bubblegum head, Jason. Fuck that boy.
Okay.
So, my fuck... I'm going Uber Jason for that one. If I'm getting fucked by Jason, I'm going Uber.
Oh, see, I was thinking I was going to fuck, not get fucked. You're like, I wanted to be part metal.
Yeah, I don't know. It's Jason Voorhees. I'm not 100% sure you're going to get the option of if you're going to be a top or a bottom in that scenario.
Who was doing what, but he might... You never know. You're right. Either way, I'm going for nano bite, for nano action.
Metal face.
That's... Why not? Let's go for the big hulking mass.
Money Shot on the Metal Face.
Yeah, Money Shot on the Metal Face. That's my next album. And and then I think kill. God, I would say Jason Goes to Hell, Jason as well, just because I like that one the least, I think. And if we're gonna do a marry and we're gonna take out Pamela, just because I feel like I don't know why that's an easy go to. That's who I would marry, but I'll take my this is tough. It's like I don't want to take part 8 Jason because everything's just gonna be wet all around the house all the time.
And the one I'm gonna marry, Mary isn't even my favorite version of Jason. It's just
I might take 6 as well, because he seems to be like
that's
utilitarian. That's Jason.
It is.
He could like get stuff done around the house. I think he seems to be relatively dry.
It's not going to bother you that we fucked.
No, I can get over that. It's fine.
That's fine.
Cool.
It bonds us.
Ross, are you with us?
Oh, you too. All right. So, all right. I think. Oh, I'm banging Jason Goes to Hell because that's a worm boy. He could be anybody anybody he wants.
Oh, that is
so we could do a little body switcheroo for that one. So it's kind of dealer's choice. I mean, I'm not necessarily going to be.
So you're fucking the corner.
Be picking someone
bro.
probably
It's
like
the worm. You get the worm. That's what.
It's just the worm.
Oh, it's that little creature.
Yeah.
Oh no!
That's one of my favorite Jasons. Do we count him?
Man, I'm gonna say, Mary. I'm gonna marry part 7.
Interesting.
I mean,
Ooh.
efficient,
He's on the
fast,
inside.
and efficient. Yeah, exactly. And he wears his heart on his sleeve, including most of his bones and flesh and stuff like that too. So
Yeah, I get it.
and then kill. I'm gonna. I don't know. I'll probably just kill Pamela for just causing this entire mess to begin with.
Nice.
Sorry, that got me. Okay. All right.
No need to apologize. Sam, unforgivable. No laughing at the shenanigans abound.
You're right.
You know your role.
Withdraw that statement.
You were stone-faced. Yeah, you're stone-faced.
You're the
Sam.
serious one.
You got do you have a favorite character of any of the movies? That like a non-Jason?
I do have 2 favorite.
Yeah, Crispin.
Oh,
Crispin's fun.
Yeah.
Early.
Mm-hmm.
One of my 2 favorites are the kids that are under the bed
Oh,
talking about what they
them.
were going to be
Dead
when they
meat,
grow
yeah.
up.
Yes. What were you going to be? Were you gonna be
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, that one's
Crispin's
fantastic. Honestly, and it's not even because I thought they were even remotely good in the movie. The hillbilly neighbors in 5 have some of the best lines.
I'm blown away. I thought you hated them.
I hate it. No. See, okay. What's different is that like I hated them in the movie, but as characters, I laughed hysterically at what they said.
Oh, sure.
I was just like, it's just so not. It's weird.
We're gonna hear one of their lines coming up.
I do not like them though.
Mine might be again from 5 because what is it? Shelly or Shelby? Chocolate guy gets killed.
Yeah.
Or was that the guy in 3 who he reminded me of? I do love those kids though. That is a great call. And then beyond that, Corey Feldman. Oh, the first Tommy Jarvis.
Corey Feldman. Honestly, so the one that I would absolutely shy of the rednecks, it sounds weird. The comedian from 2, the one that part of the group that goes out before getting murdered.
When they go to town.
Guy, I think it was either 2 or 3. Where it had to been 2 because
like,
it was one of the camp counselors.
Before the murders start, half the people are like, all right, we're going into town.
Exactly. And the guy who goes into town was one of the nerdy guys who you thought immediately was going to get murdered and wound up actually just missing out on most of what happened. Right. So that's my dude. Nice. Because like he's straight up I thought he was the puppy and he was clearly not the puppy.
Good.
I would say, here's a quick impromptu question. I don't think there's too many options. Who's your favorite harbinger of doom? Crazy person screaming about. What's your favorite?
It's Ralph. It's the first one.
Crazy OG.
Yeah, he's got a death curse.
I mean, the deckhand. You have the deckhand as well in 8.
There is the deckhand.
Who's just listening to people die and kind of scurrying away from that.
Oh, no. Dude, the hobo guy in part 3 who has the eyeball.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was thinking of him, too.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Okay. Next up, we have our favorite victim group. So that you know how I kind of attach myself to friend groups. I like friend groups. Mine's going to be 4. It's going to be Final Chapter. The
Oh, great
Love
group
all
of,
those characters.
Even with the serial killing twins.
Yeah.
That wound up. Jason got to them first.
Right.
But
honestly,
they're great.
I know. I don't think Brian cared for him, but one would probably be my runner-up for friend group. I really like the characters in one.
They didn't blow me away. They're fine. Again,
sure, I understand.
I don't remember if I was like super adverse to them, but
no, but I think you were more surprised that I was into them. Like,
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can agree. Four is really good.
4 is really solid. I did find some enjoyment out of 6, just because of just how that one they're actually being counselors.
Yeah,
which is hilarious.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
6 is good. I just like 8 because I like 8, but
yeah,
that has a dog in the cast, so I like that. That has Julius, our boxer.
That's automatic win.
That has a few fun people. That has our rock and roll girl. Sexy nerd camera dude.
Yeah,
dude, I will give you credit where credit's due. Like part 8 legitimately has the most eclectic group.
That was the problem with this, that there's too much cast and too much exposition with the cast that it weighed the movie down.
That's why it was all on a boat.
Dope. All right. Favorite quote. Mine is all of my favorite quotes are from 5. There's so many good ones in that one. But if I had to pick a number one, it's from those redneck people Ross mentioned, and it's "You big dildo, eat your fucking slop." I love that. I have that. I found that GIF and have it favorited so I can use it whenever I want.
The favorite.
Fucking just shoot off fucking rapid fire.
Then of course, damn burritos and the ooh baby duet in the potty, especially because I got to try and get my wife to do it, and I just heard her go, "I'm not doing that."
Nice. I figured another part of yours would be rat-a-tat-tat-tooey.
Oh, absolutely. A rat-a-tat-tat-tooey. A rat-a-tat-tooey.
I see you doing that around the house.
I do it. I definitely do
stabbing.
it sometimes. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. I kind of mentioned them, but one of my favorite interactions is definitely those kids under the bed. You know what I think?
Yes.
I think we're dead meat. Real dead meat. So what were you going to be when you grew up?
That is yeah.
That is pretty much the
Premium.
line.
And same from that, Martin says, "Some folks sure got a strange idea of entertainment." That's the whole wink at the camera one.
Wink at the camera.
What do they think?
Really
I'm some sort of fart head? Yeah.
It's like that. 6 has some of my favorite stuff for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely.
Did you say one, Ross?
Man, I'm gonna agree with you guys. I honestly 6 to me has some of the best one-liners possible.
There's a lot of setups in that. And I know you like a lot of the one-liners in 10 too, because I just listened to that today. All right, this big one. Oh no, we'll do one more. Couple more fun ones. Favorite window breaking moment. Do you have one? Because we noticed as we went through the series that holy shit, that he throws someone or jumps through a window in at least every movie. So mine's a pretty simple one. It's 4 when he comes through and grabs Tommy Jarvis.
Mine is probably part 8 when Chuck runs into the building and about 2 seconds later gets thrown out the second floor.
Yes, I take it back. That is amazing. The comedy in that is brilliant. That is my favorite.
Oh, that's so fucking good. I think it's 7 where the girl just had sex with a stoner dude and then she gets thrown out the window, but it's clearly a doll. A dude.
Oh yeah. Which one is that? I don't remember, but I remember
that's
that.
7, right? I think it's, where like she goes like, "Oh no," and then it's legitimately a stuntman in a nightie.
Nice. I remember us talking about that one too. I don't know if that was.
It probably wasn't 7.
Well, it's like I wasn't there for 7, but I obviously edited and listened to that episode. So it's like, was I? I feel like I was there.
Did
for
I? Right.
Other good ones. Didn't one of the dogs nope out a window?
Yes, in 4. It's part 4. In final chapter, like the dog was like not having it and just dove out the window.
Then I guess it's in 4 as well. Don't one of the murder twins get a window involved?
Yeah,
thrown out a window into a car.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't. What
That's
other?
a great
any
one.
other memorables? Obviously, we have getting sucked out of into space, that's essentially going out a window.
Kind of,
right?
yeah. And he breaks a window in that, but it's not particularly
windowy.
Well, I just say it's not like a memorable one, I would say.
Yeah, I'm just trying. Yeah,
I think that's most of
and
them. At least, you know.
And I'll give out worst window to Jason Goes to Hell.
Which I don't even remember the window in that. What was it?
He gets thrown out of a window once as a cop, but I don't take like it's. He gets thrown out the window as Jason at the end of the movie.
Okay. Yeah.
Or no, Steven does something like that.
Sure.
It
I'm
was,
happy
it
to
was
give
enough that I
worse
heard
anything to
so
Jason
I would say it
Goes
is
to
worse.
Hell.
You get nothing. Jason Goes to Hell.
I do enjoy it.
Do you have a favorite hawk?
See, now this is tough.
Oh,
It's very
man.
tough.
Okay.
And yeah, these last two are toughies.
See, all right. I got a 50-50. Mine's either 4 because of the
Yes,
battle
I love
damage with
that
the
one.
axe and the
Absolutely.
scuffing, or 7 because 7 has the exposed jawbone and teeth.
Really?
You know what I mean? So like having that battle damage across the cheek, I think is so good. It's also like duskier and grayer. Like that paint scheme on that hawk is like super dirty.
Yeah, see, I kind of want that, like, I'm almost going to have to do a 50-50 hawk because it's kind of like I want the juxtaposition. I want the two. I want my yellow tinted wet Jason mask from part 8.
Ooh,
I want
8,
that. And then I
yeah.
also want like a cleaner early
Part
one,
3.
part
Yeah,
3
like a
or
new
something.
one.
Like,
was it Shelby's mask?
Yeah.
whatever that is.
Yeah. The prank guy.
Like, I think those would be nice.
I agree.
It's nice seeing them, like the evolution of it. Yeah.
But if I had to choose between the two, that's where I'm having a real tough part. It's like, do I want? I'm going for the one with some patina and some character. And I'm going to take
interesting.
8 as my mask.
I thought
think-
you'd go with the clean one.
I know I own 7, but I would have a 4 because I think it's just a more complete mask. And I agree with you, Brian. I think having it a little more clean cut, I think is like, I don't know.
I like that it shows damage. 4 is mine. The more we've talked about it, I really like that one because of the battle damage, and it just looks worn and fought, and that slit in the top for some reason to me is very iconic.
Yeah, it's just there's just something about that axe wound.
Okay. Favorite kill. Obviously, you can talk about runners up, whatever you want to talk about, but try and narrow it down.
I got 3 listed, and it's going to come down to it's tough. Okay. 1 I really like, part 3, handstand, machete to the crotch.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's a good one.
So good.
That one,
So fucking good.
big fan of. I'll throw that out there. I don't think that's my top. That's a top.
It's a good one.
Top contender.
Yeah.
All right, so I've got a top contender. Actually from 8, the second in command getting killed while like steering the ship, where it's done from the outside the window with all like the rain
artsy,
and the lights and stuff like that.
yeah.
Super artsy would be a great runner up for me because I thought that kill scene was super good. Same thing with part 4 with the silhouette of one of the twins getting impaled
Yeah.
through the lightning. I thought was super cool.
My runner-up is from, which for all I know is one of your guys, from Jason X, and it's the headed nitrogen face smash.
Oh, sure.
Nice.
Just so cool.
I'll include that with a runner-up because, yeah, I think that's great, but that's not always been the one from that movie that stuck out to me.
Sure. I have, that movie does have a lot of good kills.
Mm-hmm. Certainly does.
I do know what my number 1 is though.
What's
I have
that?
number
Let's
one
just...
as
Okay.
Go ahead, lay it on me.
Kevin Bacon.
Oh.
The act or the arrow through the throat
Mhm.
is so fucking brutal and so disgusting and so amazing. It was a very high bar. And I got chunkier and gorier and like, you know what I mean? But like, it's the first movie, and then having a death like that, I give credit where credit's due. The deaths in part 1 are fucking
You got to give it to that
so
I
horrific.
agree.
older woman.
I was the only person who thought that when we
Yeah.
recorded it. I was like, these were like really good. I couldn't believe how good they were. And you guys were like,
I mean, I look back on what it was like to record that first episode because that was all just based on memories of what 2 through X.
Oh, like you were like, well, wait till you see the other ones because they're going to be fucking crazy. Totally. And it's kind of like the first one is one of the more extreme ones. More. Yeah.
In terms of how good and like what they show of the gore, I would agree to that. I think I gave it like a 5. I think I put it right in the middle for a Gorometer because I was like, I wanted wiggle room to play with it. I think it still kind of fits in that area, but it still had some really good stuff to it. My favorite kill, probably, I'm having a real tough time between part 8 and X. Jason X. There's 2 kills there. Just part 8 is going to be the boxing match with Julius.
Yeah, knocks his block off.
Incredible.
Almost 2 minutes of Julius just beating on Jason, trying to fight him, and then Jason just fucking decking his head off, and it's amazing. And then X, when I guess it's technically, I don't know if it's a real kill because they weren't real. But they're holographic people, and it's the sleeping bag fucking beat down. Hilariously perfect.
That is not my number one, but I almost went with saying that like those are my 2 runners up, and they're both from Jason X, which is wild because the movie's like meant for me. But yeah, I love both of those. Those are my 2 runners up. But
it's
go ahead.
Oh, so it's cool that we get to see a sleeping bag death like that, because in part 7, the sleeping bag death was so edited down that you really don't get to see.
And it was like hard for him to do. They like this. I remember like one of the trivia was like the sleeping bag was so heavy. It was really hard for Kane to like swing it.
Totally. So like the last one, he's like infuriated by doing it, which was the best cut, but like he hits the tree like 4 or 5 times.
I think
in the actual final cut of the movie, he hits it like once and she drops.
I like to think Jason, in one of the movies that we haven't seen where he's won, has been practicing his sleeping bag technique since that first time we saw him attempt it, and he's like, fuck, I was not good at that, and I really want to get, and this is what we get where he's just fucking Ubering.
Nice.
Not driving around in a car, but just being his Uber self.
Right.
Well, how was the Uber? It went through the woods, but he didn't talk the entire time, so it was fine.
Awkward. I like it. So my favorite kill is from one of my least favorite movies, although it actually is probably one of the first ones I'll revisit because everybody seems to like it so much. Maybe I'll see it differently now with the franchise in retrospective, but it's from 2. And it's the machete to the face and the guy in the wheelchair going down the stairs for like 30 seconds or whatever it is. It's just so fucking funny. He like gets machete to the face, starts rolling back, and out of nowhere, apparently he's in front of like a long ass stair set.
100 stairs.
So funny. It's so good. I love it. Cool. This one came to us from Reddit. I asked the Friday the 13th subreddit if they had any ideas. Most people just answered my questions instead of like, I was like, hey, here's what I'm doing, looking for suggestions. Here are the ideas I have so far.
People just answered.
Yes.
What they thought, of course.
But
hey, what's up, subreddit?
Biggest what the fuck moment in the franchise. It's full of a lot of them, but moments where you're like, what the fuck is happening? Like, this is ridiculous. Do you have...
All of Jason Goes to Hell.
Interesting. I thought you would have said 5.
Or, 5 would have had some big what the fuck moments for me.
What the fuck moments.
I mean, honestly, at the end, when you get the reveal of Roy, that is a very big what the fuck moment.
Definitely.
Like,
I think when it's Roy, and I think in the same vein, in 1, with, because like what the fuck
what the fuck,
because like you literally, the killer is someone you've never met, and you have no, like there's no interest, like the end of that, you're like, what the fuck? Who the fuck is this?
Who done it with a new character? For me, it's like the last 2 minutes of X or whatever it is, where Jason blows up and he's flying towards them, and then the sergeant flies out of nowhere and grabs him and then rides his back down towards the other planet. Through the atmosphere.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's some good.
Part 8, Hallucijason has, there was a bunch of what the fuck. Whereas like Jason drowning in the porthole, and then like you said, the dog is scared. So I'm like, what the fuck is that? Wait, what the fuck? Like that's a thing. Like that's now a thing.
Sure.
This one came from our Discord.
I mean, sorry.
yeah.
One of the biggest what the fuck moments could be Jason Takes Manhattan, where you're like, wait, we're on a boat for this whole time? Where's Manhattan? What the fuck is going on?
It's very
or
true.
for me, when I saw
It's
Jason
very
Goes
true.
to Hell and was like, he's not
Where's
in
the
hell.
hell?
It's some...
Where's hell?
This one came from the Discord. This one came from our boy Brian. He wanted to do a hot butt ranking.
Who?
You didn't you suggest a hot butt ranking when I asked for suggestions? I could have sworn it was you. Sergio was like, I like that idea. So
I think it was like Ricky or something.
we can do our top 3. And I was thinking it'd be Jason's hot butts.
Well, 3's got the lurch, but 6 has got the swagger.
You're gonna have a hard time finding that.
I'm going to find out who's talking about the hot butts.
Who's talking about some hot
I think
butts?
it was in the Goes to Hell channel. All right. You got a favorite hot butt? Yours is 6. I'm going to say 6 as well. It was just a silly thing was thrown in. This is also from the Discord. Do we have a favorite final girl or final person?
It was Ricky, by the way. He said, I'm especially interested in everyone's thoughts on the Jason butts.
Who said hot butt ranking, though? Because I did not.
You did.
Sam, if you just wanted to talk about Jason hot butts, that's all you had to say.
It's fine, man. We were cool with it. You don't have to put it on
We're
me.
fine
I'll
with
own it
it.
if you
Yeah.
want me to play that role. Hey, hold on. Do I need to cut this out and like own
No,
up
no,
to
no. I
wanting
already
to
said
be the hot
6.
butt guy?
Butts?
I already said 6 for mine. You got that one? Ross and I are on 6.
Well, that's the problem. I unfortunately did not look for Jason's butts, and none of them pop out to me.
You're probably an Uber Jason type of guy. You want that metallic ass.
That probably has it like a
Make it go
sculpted-
ping.
I'll throw out a quarter at it, make it go ping.
All right.
We have fun.
Does anybody have a favorite final girl or final person? Mine's going to have to.
Surprisingly, from 2, I like Jenny.
I like Ginny too.
No, Jenny's great.
Mhm.
I like her a lot. She stands out.
I'm going Tommy Jarvis in... Do I have to pick him from 1 or can I pick him from all 3 that he's in?
I guess you can just take Tommy Jarvis as
I'm going to take
as
Tommy
the
a
Jarvis.
person.
character.
Yeah.
No, that's great.
I honestly, I'll side with Jenny. Because I like that she's.
Jenny,
I mean, she's willing to put on a dead woman's, sweater.
She's smart. She's
And
thinking about
cosplay.
it.
Yeah,
She learned
yeah.
how to beat him, which is cosplay. She's one of the
Without
first people
having to
do
shave
that.
her head.
Without having to shave her head. It's me, Jason. It's you.
Okay. Here's a big one.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Nice. Willem, do you have a favorite Jason? Either actor or portrayal or both?
Oh, man. I was actually thinking about this. Obviously, we got the bullet points a little bit before recording, so I got to marinate on it a little bit. Man, it's, again, all these are 50-50s for me. Kane is Jason for me. 7 is so aggressive, and it's like having a great white shark as Jason Voorhees. I just thoroughly enjoy that. But there's something about the militaristic, part 6 Jason is so intimidating with how he marches and stuff like that. Like, Kane is aggressive, but part 6 Jason is just on a completely different level. Like, I liked 3 and 4's lurchy, weird, like, kind of hiding the shadows, not really, but like 6 is a silent killer. Like, that goes from like when he gets resurrected, it's such a different kind of Jason.
I agree
If
with
I may
you.
interject, I do as well. I have 2 that I've listed, and that was one of them. Part 6 I really, really like. There was as of recording within here, a little bit of a butt conversation started happening in the Discord on Jason Goes to Hell. And Weird popped in and said that the best ass goes to Jason X. Nanite Body Jason got ripped, so she's a Jason X
Make it go
booty as
ping.
well.
Yeah.
And our boy Leading Rue popped in and said, and it was a clean ass as that. And Rickles popped in And he says, I want that dirty wet butt. So I think he's here for wet.
8.
Yeah. So that was kind of our biggest butt talk that we had going on there. A little more stuff going on over there as well. It was so how apropos of the situation.
Absolutely. Yeah.
6. And to piggyback off that, Wet Boy. I love Kane. I love
he'd be my runner up as well.
8 is
8 would be my runner
kind
up.
of. I've been battling between those two ones the whole night, I can tell, but I think I'm going to give it to 8 as my favorite Jason, because like I said, I went with that Hawk as my favorite Hawk, so why not go with that Jason? I love the attitude, I love the wet boy look. Wet
York,
boy
baby.
summer, baby. We like to do meth.
Great. Well, with that's going to take us to a special little ditty that Brian prepared for us this evening. And I would like to send it his way because we are going to have a Jason battle.
All right. So I basically put together 10 out of the 10 movies. I took a villain. Pamela is included in this as who our main Jason kind of character was. And I just threw them into this bracket thing that randomized them. It's supposed to be double elimination, so we're just gonna it's put together and we're just gonna go through real quick and say who's gonna win out of what. Sounds advance good. Them forward, and it's gonna get us to who we think our top Jason is. So coming in at round 1, we have part 6 tactical Jason, I called him, versus part 2's sackhead Jason.
Tactical Jason.
I'm inclined to give it to tactical.
We just Jason. All gave him as the best one, or runner up as the best one,
right? But I think he's got the smarts against.
Yeah, but
I mean, part 2 Jason is just the most normal boy. Yeah.
Also, the biggest disadvantage, he's still alive. Is that like most mortal wounds aren't going to do anything to tactical Jason.
Absolutely.
So Sackhead is going to have a lot more ground to cover if he's going to try to overtake him.
I agree. I mean, presumably Sackhead could be, because he is more human, he may be, I'm giving him a lot of credit, maybe smarter and figure out a way to take down tactical Jason. But tactical Jason's tactical, baby. You ain't taking that down.
Yeah.
So
he's jumped down from trees and shit.
So he moves on. In round 2, he have Pamela Voorhees versus your boy, Roy. I mean,
Roy versus Pamela.
I'm 2 regular humans. Although Roy's pretty tough and Pamela's all sneak attacks. So
yeah, Pamela's very unassuming, but Roy, I think once it came down to it, even if Pamela tried to do the sneak, I'm giving it to Roy as well.
I mean, he gets hit by a bulldozer.
That is very true. I feel that Pamela could get the W if she could get to Roy like a sneak attack first because of the level of her brutality.
Yeah,
when she can do a surprise attack.
I just don't know if she could
do one on Roy. Although, I mean,
Roy's sneak attacks too, though. Most of his kills are sneak attacks. It's only during the fight at
Jason's.
Yeah, his first 5-6 movies, something like this.
He's a big sneaky boy.
Sneak attacks.
Yeah. So it's like,
I think the only advantage that Pamela has, is that he's in a rubber hood with a hawk. So he's got kind of pretty damaged peripheral vision. You know what I mean? Like, so she can kind of flank him from the sides.
He's got a higher body count than she does. He's killed more than most incarnations of Jason we've seen.
That is true. No. I mean, I'm giving it to Roy. I'm just trying to have Pamela have some kind of a fighting chance. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
That looks really cool, especially with your mustache.
That did look really good.
You looked like
I want to give it to Pamela.
We got it right.
You looked
very... I think Roy's got it just on the body count.
Okay, we're giving that one to Roy. I'm going to go ahead and submit this one to move him along. Coming up with round 3 is going to take us to Uber Jason versus part 4 Jason.
Uber Jason all the way.
I think Uber is going to...
it's got to be
decimate him. Part 4 is still
made
human.
Of metal.
Yeah.
And
he gets killed by a child cosplaying.
Yes.
Precisely.
That's exactly what happens.
All right, Uber Jason takes the match on that one. Moving on to the next round. This takes us to round 4. It's our fucking Cheney bone exposed part 7 Jason versus my boy Wet Jason part 8.
Ooh.
This is a tough one. I feel like these two are pretty close for me.
Very evenly matched, right?
Yeah.
Who was playing part 7's Jason? Was that Kane? I don't remember.
Kane as well.
So we
it's
get
Kane, it's a Kane versus
Kane. That's nice. I like that.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that I'm going to give it to 7 just because, like, I know he's got more bones exposed, but I feel like waterlogged Jason he's going to be able to, he's a little more bendy. He's a little more squishy. I mean, like in the sewer, he's a lot more squishy. Like part 7, Jason gets blown up.
Oh, he's squishy when he gets like
firebombed.
Toxic waste in his face, right?
Yeah, but I guess it's hard to like with part 8. How much damage do we see him actually take besides a large amount of toxic sludge and some bullets?
Punches.
A lot of punches.
He certainly takes a lot of punches, and he takes bullets pretty well. He was kind of just doing that, but like I forget the amount of damage that part 7 took before he was down.
Right. I know, but he goes down by like a ghost dad breaking a dock compared to toxic sludge.
Yeah, but I mean, like part 8, he turns into a child
because of the toxic sludge. I mean,
right.
He could have turned into a child after a dock broke him down.
Exactly.
Like, that's just
even more reason.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a big proponent for 7. I think my vote's going to be 7.
Oh shit! What are you?
I'm going to go 8.
Ah, god damn it! Because I was like, I could go either way.
I knew you could, and I wanted to do this to you.
All right. We want to watch you squirm.
So 7 though is fighting a psychic girl, where 8 is just fighting some kids on a boat. And then some like heroin addicts. I think based on how they're defeated, I thought I would go 8, but based on what they ultimately are going up against, I'm going with Ross. I'm going 7.
Great. 7 takes this round and moves on. Don't worry, the losers still fight each other and move on. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So then that was round 4.
Wet boy, may you come back.
Round 5. This is going to be a new guy and a returning fighter. Puke Slug Jason from part 9. Jason Goes to Hell versus Tactical Jason.
Tactical Jason is breaking that bubblegum motherfucker's head wide open. He got taken out by a surprise SWAT team. There's no way Tactical Jason wouldn't know that SWAT team was out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Tactical Jason is going to take the win. Specifically, and I thought it would be different. I mean, I thought it would be bad, but it takes a Voorhees to pierce his heart and to kill Jason. If he's killing himself, that technically makes sense. So he could take down fucking
True.
Lumpy Jason.
Well, I like the idea that he's so fucking tactical. Jason's so tactical that he's part of the fucking SWAT team that's destroying
Yes.
Jason. He pulls off his mask and he pulls off like a SWAT mask, and underneath that is a hawk.
Yes. No,
yes.
Somebody runs out in a hockey mask and it gets all shot up and they all die, and they go over and they pull off the mask and it's a member of the SWAT team, and then he lifts up his own and the hockey mask is underneath and he starts fucking taking him out.
Oh,
that's
perfect.
Amazing.
Brilliant. Okay. Tactical Jason definitely took that one. That was round 5. Coming in with round 6, we're going to go part 3 Jason with returning champion Roy.
Ooh.
So sorry, who was he again? Oh,
part 3 Jason. I mean, this is technically human versus human, right?
Human versus human. I think the only I think Jason actually has an advantage because in part 3 he does use a spear gun. So now, like, unlike other Jasons, he actually can shoot, like, long-range weaponry in this film.
And he's a big, strong, like, farm boy type. Like, he's definitely stronger than Roy.
He's huge. Absolutely.
He does do less sneaking, actually, in 3 Because once I think the Hawk's on, we just see him all the time.
Once the Hawk's on,
it's on. I'm going to put it to you this way, though. Jason has a track record killing paramedics and healthcare workers for a really long time.
You're right.
That's a good call.
Roy's literally just but on the other side, he gets taken down by cosplay a lot, and it's technically a guy in cosplay. Oh my god,
yes. All right, I'm going Roy. We got cosplay, we got higher body count.
Honestly, I'm going to go with part 3 just because it's it's Jason. Like, he's such a lumbering.
I was going to go with 3, but you talked me into 5. So
yeah, I want to give it to Roy, but I'm giving it to Jason. I think is going to take it between the two.
Fine.
Yeah.
All right, that sends them on. So that was round 6 or 7. Okay, so now we're going to go over to take some losers on. Round 7, part 4, Jason versus Pamela Voorhees. I think Pamela's going to take it. He's not going to kill.
Neither of them would kill the other, but assuming, they got to fight.
But but I think he'd be too. I think she'd have a better chance of stunning him into being like, Jason, no, don't do that, young man. Like and kind of get into his head a little bit. And this is part 4, Jason. So I don't.
It's certainly not.
This is the Jason that got fooled by
cosplay,
Corey,
but by baby himself,
as a baby himself,
by his mom. Oh my god, it's me as a baby. What are you doing?
That none of them would ever fight. They'd just be too stunned by looking at themselves.
At each other. Yeah.
But okay, I don't know. Honestly, if it's a real fight and it's brute force against each other, Jason's going to take out Pamela.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I would give it to part 4.
I think in this situation,
otherwise she would always win because you could
of that power is too strong. Well, does that say something? Is she? All right, part 4, Jason's going to take that one and move on to the next round. Coming in, round 8, Wet Jason versus Sackhead Jason. I'm giving this to Wet Boy.
I'm giving it to Wet Boy as well.
Taking out Sackhead. Unfortunately.
100%.
Sackhead.
Yeah, I like Sackhead, but Sackhead is a mere mortal. You're dealing with Sackhead.
To get that sack wet, he's falling apart.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure
it's only
that
got
takes
one hole in it.
Right? Yeah, he's got even less field of view of anything. He's obviously not too smart. If he's just like, I only need one hole.
Oh, good, I can
both
see.
Eyes, right?
Yeah,
he's still got both at this point.
I mean, one's a little droopy, but
it's still presumably works. All right. Sackhead Jason is taken out of the race here. Taking us into the next one, we go Puke Slug Jason versus part 4 Jason.
Puke Slug versus part 4?
Puke Slug's tough.
So
when we say Puke Slug, do we actually mean the Puke Slug or do we mean the bubblegum head?
A bubblegum. I'm Jason at the in his final form at the end of the movie.
As Jason. Okay.
Not that final form.
A little weird thing. Yeah.
Little sperm cell creature. Oh man, that's a tough one. I mean, yeah, honestly, I think Jason Goes to Hell takes it just because
I'm forced to give it to Jason Goes to Hell.
Sheer size. I mean, like
I'm not
Jason
happy
in
about
that
it.
is huge.
Yeah, I'm not happy about it, but I think he does kill mortal
regrettably.
Jason.
Yes.
Yeah.
Begrudgingly.
Begrudgingly. So that was number 9. Moving on. Oof. Here we go. Battle for the ages. Roy versus Wet Jason.
Oh, Wet Jason's taking it.
Yeah. I think my boys finally met his match.
Yeah, you're dealing with Wet Boy knock off a human skull in one punch, Jason.
And not like a skeleton. This is
like it's still attached
everything
to a body.
that could attach it to a body does.
Was there.
And this guy's strong.
And it's like
He turned a boxer into a Pez dispenser. Like he's Done.
Yeah, I don't think Roy's going to get the jump on him. And even if Roy did get the jump on him, I don't think it's going to do anything.
Yeah. No, it's Wet Jason.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's fine. I do like Wet Jason.
We saw this was coming.
Yeah. It was going to happen eventually.
Taking us back up top to our winners, we have Tactical Jason going head to head with Uber Jason.
Tactical Jason versus Uber Jason. Shit. I mean, I want to give it to Tactical because I feel like it's a better.
He could figure out a way.
Yeah.
Do you think
it's
has
like the smartest of the Jasons?
The wherewithal to understand
Uber Jason is
to
literally
eject him into space.
Yeah. I mean, he could try to figure that out, but also Uber Jason is literally like a cyborg. Like he's a metal man at that point. You know what I mean? Like he's also busting through like plated steel like walls and shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's a tough boy.
Even though 6 is my favorite Jason, Tactical Jason's easily my favorite. I think it's like last time. I'm gonna regrettably go with Uber Jason, and not that I dislike him. It's because I like the other one so much.
He's tough. Yeah. He's a tough boy. He's a big, strong, tough boy made of nanobites and rage.
Rage and nanobites,
like a steel beefcake.
Steel beefcake. Steel beefcake takes it and moves on to the next round. We have coming up behind that part 3, Jason versus part 7, Jason.
3 versus 7. Yeah, 7.
I'm on board with 7. Absolutely.
Think when we get to this point, I think all the undead Jasons are killing the living Jasons.
Absolutely. Yes, and 3 is just
100%.
Like a farm boy. 7 is look out.
Look out. Is that part 3 Jason psychic? I don't know. Look out. All right, we're gonna go back down. So Tactical Jason's not out quite yet. He comes back into the losers round to go ahead and fight once. I don't know if it was once again, but he's fighting Wet Jason. Tactical versus Wet.
That's a wet ass Jason. Waj.
So Jay,
man,
Tactical versus Wet.
This is
I really want to give it to Tactical because at least with Tactical, like that Jason took stuff and then equipped himself the entire movie.
He did. He was almost like if it were an RPG and you were Jason. But 8, I don't know. Tactical jumps out of nowhere, seemingly jumping through trees, but 8 goes under the water, following places.
It's teleporting.
He bursts through doors like the Kool-Aid Man.
I think it's kind of like almost more brute strength versus a smarter, more tactical, and what wins out between the two.
But the amount of shit that Tactical Jason could find on a ship,
exactly, he's not
would be pretty good. No, he's not brilliant by any standpoint. It's more like mental capacity of a 5-year-old Jason
here, but not like the whole.
Right. I think I gotta go, which is weird because we just discussed these are my 2 favorite Jasons. But I think I'm going Wet as far as who's going to win the fight.
Yeah, I think brute strength is going to take it because I don't think he's that much smarter to take him down.
Exactly.
6 bent a man in half, but 8 legitimately was knocking heads clean off. You know what I mean? Like when you show that kind of brute strength, it's like, all right.
And he is teleporting. That's our biggest teleporter.
Yeah. Teleporting Jason's going to win that.
Teleport Jason.
I'll
just say right now, because the game, the Friday the 13th game is about to be taken down from stores forever. So they released it it's only like $5 to buy, and you just get all the shit included, like a bunch of stuff included. So I was playing it briefly, and I got to play as our Wet Boy. And one of his powers is you can just kind of like teleport real quickly to another location.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I was like, this is fucking, I love it. I felt so fun. It was so much fun. All right. Part 3 Jason versus Puke Slug Jason. Puke Slug, I think, is taking it. Bubble Boy.
Bubble Boy.
Bubble Boy.
All right. We are almost there, guys. We are at the semi-finals to figure out who is the strongest Jason.
Yeah.
Sexiest Jason. We're doing sexiest, right? That's what we're basically.
That is, yeah.
We're getting down to the butts.
Yeah.
All right. Coming in, Wet Jason, Puke Slug Jason. Who's taking this one home? This is coming down to a brute strength battle.
I'm going to give it to Bubblegum Jason, and I don't like it.
You think?
Man. I mean, he's huge.
Is he?
In Jason Goes to Hell, yeah, he's huge.
He seems more unstoppable to me.
Well, yeah, because he definitely has a bunch more lore in the way to realistic, like Wet Jason would have to have the knife,
right,
to
do anything
in order to get some giant foam hand.
Oh, that's right. Because
into the crowd.
See, that's the huge curveball is that the Bubblegum Jason, Lumpy Jason, is a deadite. So there's a whole different protocol to kill off him versus everybody else.
Well, technically they all are, man.
Sure, but if you're going by each movie's lore,
it's
tough.
Well,
damn you, fandom!
If you can convince me to give it to 8, I will.
But I mean, by any means, I think we can't look at a definitive kill because I think we have to give it to what can.
I'm thinking power
stop
level.
them, because I mean. Mortars and all the bullets ultimately incapacitate him enough to, I'd say, they won that battle, right? The SWAT team won the battle against Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is that what we're kind of judging? Because obviously Jason's always going to come back. So does a Jason need the Kandarian dagger to defeat Puke Slug Jason in a battle? Or could he rip him apart and dispose enough of him and essentially, incapacitate him enough to fight another day? Because that's the only way that I could argue that Wet Jason could win is by, again, some sort of
I'm willing to
strength.
give you that, but what makes you think his brute strength is
more brutish than
right? Yeah.
Well, what feats of strength? Yeah, I don't know. I'm going for the New Yorker, but what feats of strength? I guess it's a feats of strength.
I don't remember. I'll give it to 8 just because it's more memorable than 9.
He's punching heads. He's teleporting.
Yeah, I mean, the closest we get to the strength test for Lumpy Jason is at the end of the movie where he throws the bird's child's jungle gym onto that guy. You know what I mean? Where it's but that's not...
but that thing was not attached to anything.
It's not attached to anything. It's aluminum.
I could flip that over.
There's shovel. He gets beaten up by a shovel fight. So it's I don't know.
You sure about
You know
that?
what? I'm gonna give it to Wet Boy. I'm gonna give it to Wet Boy.
Sure, fuck it. Wet Boy.
Fuck it. Let's give it to Wet Boy and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, let's get
exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe we're a little biased, but fuck out of here, Bubblegum. You're done. All right, Uber versus part 7.
Uber.
Yeah, I hate to say it. He's mostly bone and sinew in part 7. So I feel Uber Jason could literally just crumple all of 7's bones
like a soda
to
can.
dust.
All right, part 7 Jason versus Wet Jason. Didn't we do this one? This may have come back to them, but they're both losers at this point. So
yeah,
I mean, when part 7 versus Wet fought before, part 7 won.
Interesting. That was the one that it was, but I was on the fence, and each of you were on the other side.
And you gave it to Wet.
So this time I'm going
part 7. You give it to Wet. I'm going Wet.
This time I'm going back.
All right. So that means here we go. I'm gonna pop this in, and this takes us to our final round: the determination of all the Jasons. Uber Jason versus Wet Jason. I mean, it's Uber,
Gotta
right?
be Uber, yeah.
He's Uber for a reason.
Make that thing go ping.
Yeah. As much as I don't want to admit, he's not. Uber Jason is just so overpowered. That's having a
make that ass ping.
Like a game genie. You know what I mean? Where it's literally you're in God mode at that point.
Absolutely. Yeah.
He put the cheat codes on for sure. I mean, he put the nanobyte code on or whatever. So Uber Jason comes in and takes it, and I don't think he took a single loss either. So that is our winner, Uber Jason, with a close runner-up of Wet Jason, followed by, I'd say, part 7 Jason. And then, almost making it up there, Puke Slug Bubble Boy Jason.
Who knew?
So there you have it, the definitive answer to the question.
Yeah.
I mean, this for covering the first 10.
That's correct. Great. That one also came from our Discord. All right. Brian.
Hi.
You were not here for 7 New Blood or for X, for 10X.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't get hear you give us your fingies or do anything like that. Lay it on us.
You didn't. So for the New Blood, it's going to get a 1 for engaging. And then it kind of pretty much hit the same 0.5s for the rest. Sticky, T-shirtable, cockles, and rewatchable. I gave it a 3. Honestly, it sounds great to me. I don't think, I mean, I don't the Friday movies are blending together a lot at this point, and
Sure.
It's tough to pull out of that one, because I feel like also too, I mean, obviously I wasn't there on the episode. That is one of the ones that I watched probably less than, not necessarily the least, but on the lower end. There we go. We'll call it that, of the movies. So, but I like it, and I think it's definitely a 3 is a better score than a lot of them, and I think it's a pretty good score as well. Jason X, I told you guys, and we gave it a 4 on the episode. Mm-hmm. But you know, I'm looking at this here, and I think I was kind of playing around with what I wanted it to be, because we can get into. Let's leave it here. Let's leave it here. And you know what? I am going to re-rate it on the re-rating episode. So listen to that one. I'm going to leave it at 4. I gave it a 1 for engaging, a 1 for sticky, 1 for T-shirtable, 1 for cockables, and for some reason a 0 for rewatchable. But I have since going back and doing some re-rating stuff, I've changed how I've looked at some of these score, or how I've looked at things. So I think something can change. And that's just a tease, because I think
I was going to ask if we wanted to re-rate any of the Friday the 13th movies in the retrospective instead of. And
well, then maybe I'll give you a re-rating in 5 minutes.
Not even. All right, great. Any re-ratings? I'll go ahead and start with mine, because I have a few. I'll skip the fingers. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5, and I'm changing it to a 4. It's going up for me. So that is Jason Part 5, Jason Lives, is going up to a 4. Then I am also changing. It's going to be A New Beginning. I gave it a 0.5 for T-shirtable. I felt like I couldn't give it, because I knew everybody hated it, so I felt like I couldn't give it a 5, and 4 was so good, it'd be weird like doing like the bad one higher or whatever the fuck. But fuck it, I fucking love 5. It is definitely my favorite in the franchise. I've only come to love it more since we recorded it. So 5 is a goddamn 5. I think I thought I was going to change Takes Manhattan, but I'm not. So that'll actually do it. That's all I have for changes for Friday movies. Ross, were you going to change any of your ratings? No, they weren't in the list you sent, so probably not.
No.
I
mean, like, for the series, I mean, I do have to be completely candid. For the series of podcasts, I have these as like 1 through 5. But this franchise as a whole is a certified Chuddle for me. Like, it's one of my favorite franchises. I revisit a lot of these all the time.
Well, I have a question addressing that in a moment.
Yeah.
No re-ratings. Cool. Brian, you want to re-rate X? Any others?
A couple. I'll start with the original. Is going to go up with a 0.5 and rewatchable to bring that up to a 2.5.
Okay.
I just think it rewatchable, it holds something. I was thinking in rewatchable, like how I was trying to rate that, of why would I give it a 0.5 versus a 1 versus a 0. What it came down to is, like, I'll definitely give it a 1 if it's something that I want to rewatch. I want to revisit this movie for whatever reason. So why would that not get a 1 for rewatchable? Mm-hmm. And then a 0.5 would be like, if my friend was like, I've not seen this movie, I want to watch this, want to watch it with me? I'd be like, yeah, sure. I'd definitely rewatch that. I've seen it before, but I'd watch that. That feels like the 0.5 range for me. Or if someone came up to me and was like, I want to watch this, and I'm like, yeah, no, I've seen that. I'm fine. That would presume to be a 0. So if someone came up, be like, do you want to watch the original Friday the 13th? I'd be like, sure, let's watch it.
Right.
0.5. And then so I kind of like try to look at that for a lot of the different ones here. I have Jason Goes to Hell listed as something that I wanted to go up, but I'm fine with it staying at 1.5. And then Jason X, I mean, I It's tough to say. It's like I feel like I might want to move engaging. No, but I don't. I like it. I like the movie. A 4 seems good. And I feel like by my rewatchable standards, I would give that a 0.5. So it would only go up to a 4.5, which is wild. But I guess it's going to do that. So we're going to add the 0.5 and give it a 4.5 for Jason X. Those are those are it. There we go.
Dope. Now, what do you think is the best movie in the franchise? If someone was like, I want to see a Friday the 13th movie, this is the movie you're going to show them.
Oh, man.
Mine's 4. Final Chapter is definitely what I would show someone. Not my favorite, but I think it is like the best gateway, so to speak.
I'm going to agree with you on that. I think that 4 is prime Jason. Like, if you wanted to show someone a Jason Voorhees movie, Part 4 is like a quintessential one because it doesn't go into the land of the undead, but you're still in the same realm as like 2 or 3 with kind of the cat and mouse, just a little more aggressive. I also feel like having the house setting too is super cool.
I think that works. I'm just going to say Part 6 because why not? Fuck it. Get a sentiment to like, you've heard about Jason.
Interesting.
Yeah, this undead crazy thing. Here's a thing where he's undead crazy and going for it, and let's go.
Cool. I like that. So then, do you have a favorite? Not
movie?
This is the one, the one that if you are going to watch one of them, like you're just going to pick one to put on, what would it be? I've already given away the bag with mine. Mm-hmm. It's a new beginning.
It's a new beginning. Mine is always a coin flip between 6 and 7. I love Part 7 Jason. He's just one of my favorites. So I would opt for that. And then sometimes between 6 and 7 for me.
Yeah.
Are my faves.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say between 6 and 8. Those are my boys.
Sure.
Cool. Tactical and wet.
Okay.
Tactical and wet.
Now, Ross, you touched on this already. Franchise as a whole, you would rate as a 5 out of 5, you said.
Absolutely. 100%. You go through ups and downs and whizzes and fizzes and space, imposters. I mean, like, you get hallucination. I mean, if you want something, you're going to get it out of this franchise eventually.
And if you were to guess what your average rating for the franchise is, I've compiled it together and averaged it. What would you guess your average ranking on a Friday the 13th movie is?
I mean, mine's probably looming in the 4 range, probably. I would assume.
You're right. It's a hair under. You're at 3.95.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh,
it's a 4. Yeah. I give it a 4. It's a 5 in my heart, but I mean a 4 on paper.
Sure, because, some of them just aren't that great. Brian, what would you rate the franchise as a whole?
As a whole?
Yeah.
I'd give it a 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5?
Yeah. Like you said, you have your ups and downs, your highs and lows, but when you look at this all together, it's a fun ride, I think. I don't think I was, by any of them, even when I was like, even with Jason Goes to Hell tucked in there. So as upsetting as that was, like, it was still a fun, interesting part of the ride to go on. Especially when you get to like the 9th in a series.
Installment. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what would you guess your overall ranking is?
3.6.
Close, little high. 3.4.
Oh, okay. Pretty close.
And finally, I would rate it as a whole as a 4. I'm just not there with you guys. I do like it a lot. 4 is a great score. You know what I mean? 4 out of 5 is terrific. But I don't have any nostalgia for it, which is probably part of the problem. It got introduced in my mid to late 30s, let's say. And it's actually even grown on me because I thought maybe I was going to give it like a 3.8, but and 6 has grown on me. Different things have grown on me about it. I think maybe over time that might go up, but I'm happy to give it a 4, which is excellent. I would have guessed my average score would have been like a 3.3, and I'm at a 3.15. So hair under, but we're all around where we thought they were. Now, from your favorite to least favorite, starting with Ross, and what we already know, you're kind of a coin flip between what you said 6 and 7.
Mm-hmm.
Rank them. Rank all 10 of them.
Oh God. Dude, I don't know. Like, that's, to me personally, the amount that I've seen all of these movies, it's like picking, like, what's your favorite child?
No, it's not.
Okay,
Is Jason
pick your
Goes to
favorite
Hell the same as 6?
I mean, evil Satan spawn Jason is a little different, you know, but
your ratings say differently as well.
Oh my God, totally.
You did rate them. They all tell you different things.
Right.
I get it.
Oh,
I mean, if you want, I can go first. I have mine all planned out here.
Yeah.
All right. Rankings of the franchise. I am going to give my number 10 spot to Jason Goes to Hell, all the way at the bottom. Number 9, Friday the 13th. Number 8, Part 5, A New Beginning. And number 7 is going to be Part 2. And then coming in at 6 will be Part 7, The New Blood. Coming in at 5 is Jason X. My 4th pick is Part 3. And then my 3rd is Part 4, The Final Chapter. And then my 2nd will be Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, giving Part 6, Jason Lives, as number 1.
Wow.
Yeah. I think
shocked. I thought 8 was going to be number 1.
That's I don't know. Like, I don't know why I'm thinking of this based on like presenting it to someone. I don't know. I just feel like Part 6 and I don't know. I don't know why I'm so conflicted on this and can't explain myself properly, but we can move on from there and leave it at that.
It's fine.
8's my favorite, but I think 6 is better.
That's okay. I mean, which one would you want to watch first?
8, maybe.
We're all over the place.
It's cool. I mean, stuff fluctuates all the time. All right. So according to your ratings, 6 and 4 should be number 1 and 2 because those are both 5s. And 8, 3, and 10 are all 4s. So you kind of got that order, just switch 4 and 8.
Yeah.
According to your rankings again.
Sure.
Or your ratings.
Sure. Of course.
Let's see here. Then you have 7, which you have next. You gave 7 a 3. Then you have 2, which you have next, which you gave a 2.5. Then you have 1 and 9 are both at a 1.5. So you almost nailed it exactly, which I thought for sure we were all going to be all over the place. But good on you.
Cool.
Ross, do you want to go or do you want me to go next?
You still.
Oh, God. I have no list prepared, so I'm just going to do it right off the top of my head. So 10 is going. Yeah. I mean, 10 is going to be Jason Goes to Hell for sure. Mm-hmm. Let's see. 9 is going to be. 9's going to be 5. 8 is going to be.
And I want you to rate these with your heart, not what you think your ratings are. Sorry.
Honestly, I'm just pulling fish out of a barrel at this point.
Perfect.
I would probably say 8 is going to be part 2.
Mm-hmm.
7 is going to be part 1. 6 is going to be probably Jason X. 5 is going to be Jason Takes Manhattan. Was that leave 4, 3, and 2? Yeah. 4 is probably going to be. Did I ever say part 3?
No.
Okay. 4 would be part 3. 3 would be part 4, and then 2 would be 6, and 7 would be 1.
Wow. All right. You ready? We're going to see how it stacks up to your ratings.
Probably all over the fucking place.
Probably. Let's see here. So 4, 3, and 6 are all 5s. So 6, 4, and 3, they were your 2, 3, and 4, but number 1, 7, you did not give a 5 to.
Mm-hmm. It's a guilt. 7's my guilty pleasure. I know it's not a great movie, but it's my movie.
1 and 7, you both gave 4s to. So that would go 6, 4, 3, 7. You know, it's the next one up after the ones you give 5s to. But then 1 is just now you rated it after 8 and 10, which 2, 8, and 10 you all gave 3 5s. So that almost matches up, except for 1. Yeah, it is all over the place. It's funny what your heart tells you thinking about like the movies if you were just thinking about the franchise versus like when you...
The cold hard facts.
Yeah, put it on paper. So your ranking from top to bottom is 7, 6, 4, 3, 8, 10, 1, 2, 5, 9.
That's conveniently also my social security number.
And then let's see here. Mine, I am starting at the bottom. I'm going to go 9. Then I'm going to go 2. Then I'm going to go 1. Then I'm going to go 7 probably. And then I'm so confused now. I don't even know what's happening anymore. I got 7 more of these to rank. 9,
Listener,
2,
are
1,
you...
7.
If you're still here, thank you so much. And just remember that 1 is 5,
8.
7 is... Oh, sorry.
Part 8. And then I will do 3. And then 6. And then 4. And then 5 is number 1. If I'm even at number 1 right now, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, Jason X isn't in here. Jason X will be all right, so my definitive ranking is 5, 4, 6, 3, 8, 7, 10, 1, 2, 9.
Okay, you know, like sometimes when you're in a podcast and you load it up and then you accidentally hit like your finger on it and it jumps halfway through. I'm just curious of the one listener that's going to do that to the numbers. And he goes,
just hear 5,
5, 4, 3,
5 is 3,
1,
7 is 2,
9, 2 is 5.
Awful. Let's see if that matched up correctly. So 5 is clearly number 1, so that works. Then I have 4 at a 4.5, so that's right as being next. 3 is a 4, but I moved 6 up to a 4, so they're both 4, so it makes sense to go 6, 3. Then I have number 7. Yeah, mine's all discombobulated as well. So, with the exception of my tops, my bottoms are... My top's kind of right. My bottom's all willy wonky.
I've known that for years.
Now, with... no, I need to see if it's changed. Fuck it, it may have changed with our re-rankings, but I'm not going to figure it out. This is how our scores rank the franchise. And I'm starting at the bottom. We have Jason Goes to Hell as the last movie from the collective scores.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have Part 2. Nothing else in the title. Then we have the OG, which I feel like is rare in a franchise to have the first
OG
movie
so
like
OG.
third from the bottom. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we have Part 5. Wouldn't be there if I had my way, but so it is. New Beginning. 7, A New Blood is our next one. Coming up right after A New Blood, we have Takes Manhattan.
Sure.
Then, shockingly, to me at least, at number 4, and it probably bumped up with Brian's ranking, is Jason X. It's our 4th highest rated Friday/Jason movie.
Oh, sure.
Coming in at number 3 is number 3.
Oh.
3D.
3 is 3.
Mm-hmm. At number 1, or not number 1, we still have number 2 to go. At number 2 is, of course, Tactical Jason Part 6. And number 1, I felt like I knew this was coming, is part 4, the final chapter. So the final chapter of a 10-part movie series that is the 4th part.
That is the final chapter.
Our highest rated collectively.
What do you know? Look at that. Here
So with all that being said, we did it. Thank you so much for listening, especially if you made it this far. And I'd like to say you can follow us on Instagram and Slasher if you want to keep up with the podcast. Follow Ross Purvis at Ross Purvis on Instagram. Check out his tats. Get tatted by him. You can follow me, Chuddle the Sam on Letterboxd. You want to see what I'm getting into in there. Brian's active on there now too, so you can check out Chuddle the Brian on Letterboxd. Pop in our Discord. That's where you can participate in episodes, talk about listening to stuff, chat with me and Brian. Ross pops in from time to time. Just to make it easy for all of you, we threw a notes for that in our show description.
We did. Please
rate us on your podcast app and tell your friends about us. Word of mouth helps a lot. Until next time, avoid the time loop.